Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. This is Sparring Minds. I'm Sam Little, Mr. Maritime.
Yo, it's the chef, Mr. Main Topic.
You
Yeah.
know who I am, man. It's Charlie Hustle, aka Charles Jones. Fellas, was really good, man.
Capo!
You
Just
already
trying
know.
to just trying to keep the energy up. Just trying to keep the energy up.
What up,
Tired.
man? Let's get it, man. Let's get a nice show in here, man.
Part of me, man. I'm back.
I mean, it's Father's Day. You know what I mean? And I know we're all fathers here. Salute to our brother Anthony Hightower, who's not here with us right now, but we hope he gets the opportunity to jump on here in a few minutes. But
Yeah.
what was y'all into today? What did today look like for y'all?
Oh man.
You want
Well, today for
Good, man.
me, I chefed up. I chefed up my pops, my bros, some good food. You know what I'm saying? Like Father's Day, people restaurants are charging an arm, a leg, or whatever case may be for some good food. So, being that I do what I do, shout out to my girl, you know what I mean, for the fresh apron, chef.
Legendary. I didn't even peep that.
For the chef joint, Mr. Main
Nice.
Topic
That's
shit.
his choice.
Topic,
Nice.
you know what I'm saying? So I did what I usually do and make it do what it do. Make it does what it does. So, you know what I'm saying?
That's just dope. Cindy, what
Chefed
you
up
get into?
everybody. Chefed up
I'm
everybody. Got a little.
nah, my day was traveling. I was in travel all day, man. I'm just getting back from Memphis.
Okay.
Went
Yeah.
out there, snapped
Shout out,
up a
Memphis.
bunch of pictures and whatnot. Just got away for a little while. Uh,
Word.
just in time for Father's Day. So
Shout out to my
it is
sister.
what it is.
Yeah.
Shout
Shout out to
out.
my
Shout
sister
out to P.
Precious.
What up?
Shout
Shout out to Risk too, man. Risk doing keeping Maine happy, keeping Maine smiling, you know what I mean? Can't ask
Yes,
for nothing
yes.
less from my
Salute,
brother over
salute.
there. So but,
out. During a fucking pandemic. You know
yeah,
what I
What,
man.
so,
mean? Come on.
so what it is? What's going on, Chuck? What's going on today?
You know what? I want to just kind of focus this around Father's Day, man. It's such a big deal for us. You know what I mean? Such a big deal
Mm.
for all the men around the country. I figure we just take a day away from all the drama, take away from all the turmoil that's happening in the streets that we normally talk about, and just kind of relax, take some strolls down memory lane, talk about what we got playing with our own children, our own life, and kind of just, take a little time to do that, man. Keep it a little lighthearted. I mean, how y'all feel about that?
We can rock with that. We can rock with that. Why not?
All
Let's
right,
go. Let's get it.
let me start with this, and I'll start with you, Maine. Um, what's your fondest memory as being a father? That memory that stands out, that thing that you always resort back to,
Mm.
like during your down days, was dark. You know what I mean? Raining outside. You're like, nah, this memory brings me back to where I need to be.
Ah man. So yeah, there's so many days like that for me. Um, but I don't know. I guess any time where I could go to my daughter's school to pick her up and you get to that door and like, everybody's kids like, hey daddy, you know what I mean? Like as they're like running towards you towards the door, like that's something that stands out um big time with me. You know what I'm saying? Just because like, it's just a moment that again, and I'm sure both of you guys have felt that before when you walk to the door and your kid is just, they just chill out daddy. You know what I mean? Like and they're running towards you at the same time in which you're saying that comment in
Mm-hmm.
particular. You know what I'm saying? So that just means a lot. Um if any like I said, if anything that could stand out, that would be one thing. It's so many things what comes of being a father that stand out. But yeah, anytime you go to a place where you see them and they run up to you and they just yell out, hey daddy, boy, that's just memories. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Wow.
Jones.
I so I got two of them, right?
Yep.
Mm.
And one of them, I was with both of my boys, obviously. Um, Trey and Dorian, and we were at I can't think of the name of the park. That's why I'm delaying. So pardon me. Trying to think of the name of the park. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it was my youngest son had Pee Wee football. He was playing in the F League. He was super young. He was like maybe six or seven around there. And those practices were in the afternoon. And so while he was practicing, me and my oldest were just sitting on the bench, kind of hanging out, relaxing, whatever have you, right? And so, the practice started to die down a little bit. My oldest was like, "Yo, Dad, like, let's get the football out the car so we could throw a pigskin around a little bit." You know what I mean? I was just sitting on the bench, so I'm like, "Oh yeah, go ahead. Here's the car key. Run over there, get the football out the trunk. I mean, you can throw it around for a little bit until his practice is over." So he runs to the car, comes back with the football, like super excited, like, "Yes, we're gonna get thrown around, whatever." I'm like, "Man, let's get it." You know what I mean? I'm like, "Hey, yo, pass me back my car key real quick." He said, "Oh," I said, "My nigga, where's the car key?" he said, "Oh, I don't know." I said, "Trey, bro, like this ain't the time to fool around. Like, what you do with the car key?" Come to find out, he left the car key inside the car, in the trunk of the car, right?
Yeah.
And like, he was so distraught, right? And because I was so tight too, right? Like, look at the young pops, you know what I mean? Like, you tight, you like, "Yo, nigga, what you doing?" And so I know he saw that I was tight, so he was distraught. And so, like, of course, what can you do at that moment, right? Like, I called AAA. They were like, "Yeah, we'll be there in 3 hours." Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, "All right, whatever." So my youngest, his practice is done. Everybody's leaving. We just sitting there throwing the football around, right? And so my oldest son is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And my youngest is like, "Don't worry. This is great because now we have more time to play football," right? Like, it was just like, he was so innocent and thought it was just the best thing in the world. Like, we could just spend more time playing football, right? It was one of those things that always stand in my head.
It ended up being a dope event, though.
It did. It just ended up being us out in the middle of the night with street lights on, throwing the football around. You know what I mean? And just building a little bond there, just having that memory. So that was cool. And then the second one that jumps out to me is that we were at a family reunion, and my family reunions are pretty big, and we have an annual kickball game at these reunions, right? And so me and my oldest were having really good games, like, home runs every time we got up, right? And so my youngest wanted to follow in that, right? Because we would do our little Jones celebration, etc., right? But my youngest was like struggling, like he couldn't hit the ball anywhere, right? And so I looked, he had struck out this time. He was totally mad. He almost was on the verge of crying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was gonna walk over to him. But before I got there, his brother had already gotten there. You know what I mean? Put his arm around his shoulder, was like, "Yo, don't worry about it. Like, we got it. Still Team Jones. We're still the best out here." Just doing that, you know what I mean? And showing me that, like, that relationship was built. It was strong. Their brotherhood is strong. That's the important thing about this, right? That we're raising them to make sure that they're cemented.
Uplifting each other.
Yeah. And it was just that, I couldn't have been more proud of him stepping and doing that. And just, so those are the ones that stand out to me. What about you?
Shout out to my man Trey. Shout out to my man Trey. Just don't tag me in no more video games on Facebook. That's all.
Yeah, he might. What about you? What moments stand out to you, bro?
Moments. I mean, I got 22 moments going on 22 years of moments. I got tons of them. Oh man, jeez. What steps out? I think, I'm a sports fan. I love basketball. Football was my heart, but I think I bonded. I think I got to know my son a lot better when he started playing baseball. Like, I didn't know nothing about baseball. Baseball's slow as shit to me. But seeing him out there and me not even teaching him the game, him going out there excelling, his first year MVP, and he's doing things, and I'm just like, damn, like, I'm at every game. I'm happy. I'm like that. I'm the father jumping around, that's my son, this is that, I think just being around him with the sports, I just became his fan, you
Word.
know, and whatnot. You know, I love everything about, you know, everything this kid does. Like, I mean, he's an artist. I mean, he taught himself how to play the piano. Me coming into BU and he's out there on the piano, just, you know, doing John Legend songs and stuff like that. And I'm like, where the hell did this kid get all this from? I might have to take a blood test, but you know, but but you know, like those are proud moments I have. Just things that just they were just unexpected to me, and I'm watching this kid, and you know that's my kid. You know, it's just a proud moment. Um,
It's so
you
dope when
know,
we get to the point where we actually get to be fans of our kids. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
so dope because when they're super young, they're fans of ours. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And they're watching everything that we're doing, and they're like, "Oh, my dad's the best," you know. And so when we get to this point, that transition where now it's like, "Yo, my kid got that shit together." Like,
Not with me, not with me. They was the opposite. They were like, my dad sucks. Like they were ultra competitive with me. Like it was just like they'll see me do something, and it's just like I can do better than that, and they just go out there and whatever. Like but yeah, it was the opposite. Damn, where'd man go? He just disappeared on us. That's all right.
we gotta keep it moving. We gotta keep it
Yeah,
moving. Let me ask you this then. What's the
good.
most important lesson your child or children have taught you?
Jeez, the important lesson my children have taught me.
Yeah.
I mean, my children actually molded me, to be who I am today. Like, I was real wild before they came along. Like, they kind of taught me how to slow down a little bit, slow down and, really pay attention to your loved ones and, who do you do this for now? Like before it was just all me, like, real selfish. I was real selfish growing up. But, I think they taught me how to, share
Mm,
share and do for others.
yeah.
I mean, because those three, they're the most sharing people I know. Like, especially Samantha. Samantha gives everything. Like, she does everything.
Yeah.
That's my star right there.
See, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll get to Mano when he gets situated.
yeah. What up, man? I was just asking Sammy, what's the most important lesson that your child has taught you?
Patience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for
Patience.
sure.
Patience, man. Patience. Patience is just, it can't be any other thing for me right now except for patience. Because it's, it teaches you how to just, like, I don't know, deal with another personality um extremely close to you, and you can't always react to everything that they say or do.
Mm-hmm.
At least just to me, you
Yeah.
can't overreact to everything that's going on with you. And you have to put yourself in those shoes and understand that you were that age, that time, and doing the same exact thing from just a different standpoint. Whether I mean, obviously we were young men, but these are girls that we're raising, like me and Little in particular. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just a different element, a different ball game. It's just different, that part right there, especially with raising a little girl. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and patience, more than anything, is what that teaches you, because you have to be extremely patient with your children, specifically little girls.
Okay.
It's
Mm-hmm.
just the biggest thing that I've learned from it is just having the best patience ever.
I think for me, I got two different life lessons from both of my boys, right? So I had Trey when I was like 21, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And
Trigger.
so I think from Trey, I really got to understand the word of reflection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because everything I did, Trey did. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I already know that feeling.
And he was
Oh.
like a fucking mirror image of everything that I did.
It's dope though.
It is, but it's scary. It's scary
Right.
when you realize that, and because I was so young, my growing, he was watching me grow. You see what I'm saying? He was watching me make mistakes. He was watching me do things that I probably shouldn't have been doing. You know what I mean?
Now, question. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Oh, you can.
Now, is it hard to discipline him? Because Trey, like you're saying, that's that. Basically, he's like your mirror of you. That's how Kevon is with me.
Yeah.
And I find it difficult. Like sometimes, like I yell at him, but then I go away laughing, like, yo, this little motherfucker right here, man. Like, yo,
The same
he
shit
does
I
every
do.
fucking thing I do. Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. No, it's not
It's
difficult.
I don't know, but I don't have a boy, but I can just guess like you probably want to give him so much, but you know what I'm saying? Like the part of the time it's like, yo, like he needs to understand this and kind of see it from his own standpoint because he may not feel the way I'm giving it to him as far as what I think he should do versus what he's gonna do on his own.
Hmm.
Saying like, again, I don't have a boy, so I guess it's tough for me to speak on that. But
You know what I think is? You know what I think it is? It's not difficult at all to discipline him. Because like I know every parent says this, right? But Trey really is a good kid. Like he never gets in trouble. He never has drama. He's just not that kind of kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it makes it easy. Like I very rarely have to discipline him on anything, right? But then secondarily, because he grew up with me, really like I can reference back things and he remembers them, right? So as an example, I'll be like, yo, Trey, do you remember the time when I did this? And he'd be like, yeah, I remember, because he was sitting right next to me, right? And I'm like, yeah, well, here's the end result of that. And here's why I did that was a mistake. So now he can personally understand that, you know what I mean? And be like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. And so I'll avoid that path. And he's been real good about that. He's been real good about that. So, so Trey has taught me reflection. Let me answer the question. Trey taught me reflection. And Dorian, maybe more importantly than reflection, Dorian taught me compassion, right? Because Dorian's a big, he's emotional. He's a hugger. He's all these kind of different things. You know what I mean? He needs emotional stability. He's all these kind of different things, right? And so, me growing up as this tough guy, black guy, we don't do well with compassion. We don't do well with emotion, right?
Yeah.
It's not what we're taught. It's just not how we're designed as. At least coming up in the '90s, that was kind of looked at as soft, right? But Dorian really has instilled in me the fact that letting somebody know you love them, letting somebody know that you care about them is important. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, that's a valuable lesson that he's taught me inadvertently, but he's always been, even since he was a little kid, he was always like, when you see me, give me a hug. I don't want that. You know what I mean? Just, show me some love, and that's a big lesson. That was a big lesson for me. So, I appreciate them both for those lessons that they taught me. You know what I mean?
All right. That's what's up.
So let me ask you this. Like, and all of us are relatively young fathers, right? So how much does like money and finances play a role in being a father? Like, do you find that you couldn't be is it more difficult if you're struggling financially to be a father, to be a good father, or is it are they two separate conversations?
Oh.
I'm
I
not.
asked that. Let me give you some background. Let me give you some background real quick before you go, man. Because I was doing some homework and I, ask a lot of people and read a lot of things. And back in the 60s and 70s, right, when you saw all the black fathers leaving the black households, right? One of the chief reasons for them doing that was, oh, I can't afford a kid. You see what I'm saying? I can't afford that. Like,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
So I ask us now, modern day men living in a world that might be a little bit different than it was back in the 70s, how much finances play a role in that?
You know what? Me, you know, I didn't know if we were poor or not, say the truth. I mean, with me, it was like a family thing. It was like we had a big village, my aunts, uncles, like, so it wasn't like, I seen us being poor. And even when I had Kevon and Samantha and stuff like that, like my mom was there, my pops was there. So it wasn't like, I had struggles like that. So I really can't even call it, tell you the truth. Like, family stepped in and they helped take up some of that slack.
What about you, man? Did money ever become like a conversation where you was like, damn, like how am I gonna afford to be able to raise a daughter right?
I think all of that comes to you in the beginning of when you feel like it's supposed to happen, but you know your situation as far as your family like plays a part into it. Really, it did. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really worried about what type of father I was gonna be. Um, the situation from the background didn't really play into a part. So I always felt like the situation would be right, regardless of what. It would just be something that wouldn't be in a handbook.
There's a knocking noise, King. I don't know if you hear that or not. I'm sorry.
My fault. Yeah, Dorchester and fireworks. So,
Yeah, it's the worst.
yeah, it would be something I wouldn't like worry about like too much. I just felt like it was something I was gonna learn on a job, and it would make me understand it better or not. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I think again, because I grew up with so young with Trey, my oldest, right? Like
Yep.
everything was a financial struggle. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they would be like, Dad, let's go to McDonald's. And I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
I got barely enough gas to get you home, my nigga. Like, ain't no
Yeah.
McDonald's money here, you dig? Like,
Yeah.
and so like, cause I had him and I had my little sister who are the same age, or give or take a year. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like I would get Trey on the weekends because me and his mother weren't together. Um, and they lived in Rhode Island, so that was an hour ride.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Um,
man.
and so, like it's those little things that nobody talks about, nobody really cares about, right? But
Mm-hmm.
like I didn't have my own ride. Like these were some difficult times financially for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so I'd have to borrow my mom's car just to go pick them up and then drop them
Yeah.
off, and then like, oh, Dad, so what are we doing this weekend, right? And I'm like, we'll figure something out. We'll have a good time, And
Yeah.
when I got $18 in my pocket, you know what I mean? And that's again had to make that run to Rhode Island. That's $10 in gas right there,
Yeah.
And then so, oh, let's go to the movies. Okay, we'll go to the movies. Now I'm tight, right? And it's like, here, you guys split the popcorn. Like, don't worry about it. I'll split that popcorn.
Uh-huh.
I want my own popcorn. You know how kids be, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but me I'm going through a financial struggle. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I can't let the kids know that. It's not, of
Yeah.
course, it's not their fault. It's not their situation. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I still want to show them the best of times. I still want to get them out and reward them for being good kids and just allowing them to live a kid life. So, like, go ahead. We got to get that. We got to get 2 Happy Meals, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Dad, what are you going to have? Oh, I'm not hungry. Meanwhile, my stomach's gargling and shit, right? Because I ate all week. But, like that's what we do. That's what you do when you're a parent of a kid. Like, you gotta suck that up a little bit.
Sacrifice. Yeah.
I think one of the things that always stood out in my head was you saw these dudes in the 70s, early 80s bouncing on famous because they couldn't afford it. But
Mm-hmm.
what happens in real life, my nigga, is that shit works itself out. And normally it'll give you something to laugh about 10, 15 years down the line. That's normally how it works itself out.
Yeah.
Right.
So it always disappoints me when I hear dudes say, "Oh, nah, they're out because they can't afford to raise this kid." Come on, man.
Yeah.
You
I'm
gotta
not
do
with
something.
all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's disappointing. Let me ask you this real quick, and I'll start with you, Sammy, and we'll work down the main.
Mm-hmm.
Being a father, because this is like our exclusive Father's Day episode, right? So, what was the scariest moment you ever had with any of your children?
The scariest moment I've ever had with any of them?
Yeah.
Whew. Damn, I would say getting a call on the phone. I had dropped off. I want to believe I dropped off my daughter Samantha with my youngest sister April. Now, April adores Samantha. She's doing her hair, all types of stuff, and um, I think my mom called and was like, "Hey, you got to come back to the house. Something's wrong with Samantha. You know, she's kind of, like she's. It looks like she's bruised up, or and something like that." So I'm like, I come. Actually, yeah. So I come. Samantha's whole ear is just swollen. So I'm like, "What the fuck?"
What the
You
hell?
know. So I'm going off. I'm going off on April. Like, what you do? You drop it? What? And April's crying up a storm and everything. And we go take her to the hospital, and they're like, "Oh, she just had an ear infection."
Oh.
So now I done cursed April out
Yeah, got
and
you
all
ass.
types of shit. I don't hurt her feelings. April's she's basically pleading to me like, "Yo, I didn't do anything. I don't know what happened." You know, I felt so. Yeah, I was so hurt. But I think, truthfully, that was probably the scariest moment I've ever. Through the grace of God, I really haven't had really any scary moments. Thank God that I think that's probably the scariest thing I've had.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Wow.
I know you still apologizing to April right now.
Listen, man, that story don't go away. Like I still remember it. Like, man, I was ready to fight and all types of stuff. Man,
Well,
listen.
be like that for your kid. What else, man?
My God. Ooh. What was the question again? It was about
What was the scariest moment you ever had with your kid?
Yeah.
So scariest moment would probably have to be my daughter was born premature. And so I'll probably say that part about it. You know what I'm saying? And going to the hospital and kind of leaving her there, and knowing that you can't take her with you. You know what I'm saying? When you leave. So I guess I'd probably have to say, if any time it was during her premature stages, like the early part when she was first born, she was maybe born maybe like 6 weeks ahead of time.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, there was a point where I could put my daughter like in my shirt.
Oh.
Like that's how small she was at one point. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely say like during her premature stages when she was first being born, like that part right there was the most worried I was about anything.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Salute to the young princess, man. Glad everything worked out in that way.
JK.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was rough waters, brother. You know what I'm saying? But we made it throughout it. You know what I'm saying? And those times are the blessings, in itself. But it's extremely scary times.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
How about you, Chuck?
Well, so I just told y'all I was a broke dad, right? Like I was a definition of broke dad. So I had saved up. This is real shit. I saved up like 2 months, right? To finally take him up to Riverside Park. Now, if y'all my age, so y'all remember Riverside Park. It was an amusement park up on the was it the New Hampshire border? I think it was up there. And it's gone through a couple different name changes. Like it's been Wayland Park. It's been a couple different things. But when we went, it was Riverside Park. And I took him. I took my little sister. Maybe my mother. It was a little group of us, right? And so Trey at the time, he's always been super friendly, right? And so I said, Trey, what do you want? You want some Cracker Jacks? Oh yeah, give me the Cracker Jacks. I turned my back for 2 seconds, brother. I promise you it was 2 seconds. And he was gone in the middle of a fucking amusement park, right? And we was all yelling his name. It was like 10 of us. Like, Trey, where are you? Like, we're all looking for Trey, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this went on for like 10 minutes, speed. right? To the point where um I don't cry often as an adult, but I was on the verge, right? And so then he just came walking up like, "Hey, Dad." I'm like, "Nigga, where the fuck was you?" Right? With some like white guy behind him, right? He was like, "Oh, this is my new friend Jeremy," and I was showing him some of the toys over there.
Mm.
What the fuck, dog? Like, he just up and walked away in a fucking amusement park, man. Like, I always thought that was like some white people sitcom shit, dog. And this nigga just walked away in the middle of an amusement park. My whole heart dropped in my stomach, dog. It's one of those moments where I wanted to kill him, but I was hugging him too hard, so I didn't kill him. But it was super crazy. It was super crazy. So that's easily the scariest moment. Easily the scariest moment. I still think about that shit. Yeah, my God, I can't even call it. I can't call it. Did y'all grow up with y'all pops in y'all life? Like heavy?
Yes. Yeah.
Sammy, I think Sammy's frozen on us. So what? I mean, what kind of what was your fondest memory of your pops, as with you being a child playing a different role?
Um. mm. I mean, just give me advice.
Yeah,
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 just just like, just give me advice. You know what I mean? While I least suspect it.
yeah. I think you
Word.
know, it's always retrospect with what you learn from your pops, right? Like as a kid, I
Yep.
couldn't tell you nothing. I couldn't repeat back nothing he was saying. I couldn't do none of that. But now, as an adult, I can see that he was really teaching me a lot about how to be a man and making sacrifices for the things that you wanted for the family that you got. You know what I mean? So those are the things that you respect now. Those are the things that you carry with you as an adult and kind of raise your own family. You did.
Right. Yeah. Mm.
Okay, I think we lost Sammy. Um,
Shit.
so I tell you what, let's go ahead and we can wrap this.
Yep.
Um, we'll store it in the archive for the people. But I definitely wanted to just kind of have a conversation about Father's Day, some of the things that drive us, some of the
Yeah.
things that, we're taking from our parents and bringing down to our children. I think that's an important step. Um,
Things that things that drive us, things that motivate us, things that make us want to be better parents, better fathers, based on our own experiences. And there's so many different ways and avenues that we can go and talk about this. It's an amazing time to be a father. You know what I'm saying? Raising a young queen. For you, my brother, it's dope for you raising two young kings.
yeah,
Like, so the legacy continues to keep going after the OG. You know
what
what I'm
up?
saying? You know what I mean? Like,
What up?
it just keeps going on, and that's what, as a father, you want more than anything, is you want to see it continue for after you're gone. You want to know that it's going to continue
What
and
up?
it's going to keep going on. And whether it's through your daughter or through your son, I'm sorry, I get a little emotional, but it's
Yeah,
one
no,
thing
yeah, of
you
course.
want to continue to go, you know, on and stuff like that. And it's a difficult journey. It doesn't come with the handbook. Um, and it's something that extremely comes from the heart. You know what I'm saying? And it's, like I said, you gotta be built, your DNA has to be wired a certain way to want to, make sure that you put forth your 100% all behind it, because everybody does it. So I love to say that.
Yeah, it's it's absolutely the purest form of love that there is.
Yep, that's a
Um,
fact.
and I think that it makes us stronger just going through it, just going through the path, and you know, just being able to witness that innocence, to witness that growth.
Yep.
It's incredible, man. It's incredible. So salute to you, Mano, for being an
Yeah,
incredible father.
my
Um,
brother. You too. Like I said, keep setting in the bar high and keep trending it going the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know how you feel about your pops, but believe me, he looking down, he looking at you and saying, listen, my boy is amazing. My boy is surpassing what I was and what I did. You know what I'm saying? And so during these difficult times for you, my brother, I don't never want you to lose sight of that and what you're doing with your young kids. As my brother, you should know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, believe me, you're someone that they aspire to be like, and you're someone that they aspire to, you know what? The marathon continues. You know what I'm saying? Through me, it continues. So, yes, know that, my brother.
I appreciate that, man. Um,
Right?
yeah, we gotta get out of here, man, because this is getting too heavy for sparring minds, man. We gotta get out of here.
Sorry. Sorry.
About to go
I'm
somewhere else, man. Yo, Sparring Minds. You already know
sorry.
who I am, Charlie Hustle.
It's the chef.
You got my brother, Sammy, and we'll see y'all next swing around, man. For the listeners, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Obviously, you can follow us on YouTube and subscribe to catch the next episodes. And
Check us out.
yeah, check us out, man. Like I said, we always gonna come, like you see in this episode here, we're gonna come and give you whatever our thoughts are right from the heart. We don't really sugarcoat much here, so you know, it's probably gonna be one of the most unique experiences that you're getting. So stay tuned to the future, man. It's gonna be a bright one for all of us. And we hope you're here for the ride, yo. Sparring Minds,
Come on, minds, baby.
we out.
Right. Yeah.